My neck with the brick, I put that on my game. Boy, you ain't game, but you probably a snake. You niggas want peaches, you niggas is lame. I need me some change, I need me your chain. My neck with a kilo, I feel like Sub-Zero. My bitches is emo, my shirt with a kilo. 22K, I put that on my watch, and I watch for these haters. These niggas won't watch. This is ice, yeah.
What up, guys? SomeMizuGaming here. Today, I'll be bringing you the first part to what if Naruto was a Titan shifter. So, this is gonna be a pretty long video. So, get your popcorn, get your snacks, and like and subscribe. So, the way Naruto is going to get his special abilities is by Danzo, who would have kidnapped Naruto when he was young, around 3 years old, and would give him his special ability. You guys will find out about what it is later. But let's continue. So then, Danzo will put him back in his house as if nothing ever happened. Growing up, Naruto was still resented by the villagers. They would call him names, beat him, and terrorize him. Naruto in the story would have an urge to get stronger because of his constant mental and physical abuse. So Naruto would train hours and hours on end until eventually he was 6 years old. At that age, he would enter the academy. During the academy, he would have the top of his class, earning himself Student of the Year. He also discovered his special ability, which would be the power of light, where he can use light to his advantage. Now, Naruto is around 12 years old, and he has almost mastered his light ability, but it's not yet perfect. It's graduation day for the academy students, and Naruto can't make any shadow clones because of the Nine Tails, so he makes a few light clones. Nobody knows what these golden replicas of Naruto's are, but Haruka still passes him. Mizuki would then ask Naruto to steal the scroll of sealing. Naruto would then put a light cable on Mizuki to see if he was lying. Naruto then sees she is, but he still goes with Mizuki's plan. Naruto would then take the scroll of sealing, memorizing all the jutsu by making light clones. Mizuki then shows up and throws the massive shuriken at Naruto. Naruto would then appear behind Mizuki, knocking him out. Naruto would then cut Mizuki in half with his light ropes and would put the scroll of sealing back in place. The next day at the academy, they are getting assigned teams. All of the teams are the same as canon. Team 7 is the only team where they are. Then, Kakashi appears and tells them how boring of the team they are. Then, Kakashi tells them to head to the rooftop. Kakashi then tells them they will have a test tomorrow, so don't eat. So, like how normal students of a teacher would, they don't eat. So now, we're gonna skip to the next morning. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all show up to where Kakashi told them to meet up. Kakashi would then say, okay, so all of you guys are gonna try to get these 2 bells from me. So, basically, try your hardest, and then Kakashi would disappear and would reappear in the middle of the field. Naruto and Sasuke would both dive in bushes, Sakura just following them. Sakura in this what if would like both Naruto and Sasuke, since Naruto is the top of his class, Sasuke is second in the class, so she would like both of them. So Naruto and Sasuke are waiting for an opening on Kakashi. Kakashi is reading his book. So then they're circling around Kakashi in the trees in the forest, looking for an opening. Then they see Kakashi lift up his hand, supposedly going to scratch his face. Naruto and Sasuke both dash at Kakashi at the same time. Naruto would make some light ropes come out the ground and grab Kakashi by the legs. Kakashi would do a backflip up. He's like, what is that? What is that? Kakashi would then do a backflip over Sasuke and kick Sasuke in his back, sending him flying in Naruto's direction. Naruto would then dodge Sasuke coming flying at him, but would make some lightning ropes come out his back to catch Sasuke. Naruto would then make 4 lightning loops come out of his back, sort of how Kaneki's Kagun is. So now he's just stabbing these lightning loops at Kakashi. Kakashi is dodging and wondering what this is. Naruto then does a backflip and makes some light clones. Now, all these light clones are the same strength and basically Naruto but multiplied, because Naruto's power gets powered by the light. So now all these clones charge at Kakashi. Now Kakashi is having real trouble because he's struggling against one Naruto. Now he has 12. So Kakashi gets kicked into a tree. And then a light clone comes at him, punches him in the face. Another one comes out the ground, uppercuts him in the air. Then another one kicks him down. And then Kakashi, he gets up and does 3 backflips and pulls up his headband. About to use his Sharingan to get serious. Naruto seeing Kakashi get serious, it's like, I must get serious myself then. Naruto would create a light scythe and charge at Kakashi, swinging it at him. Kakashi would dodge, barely dodging since the range of the scythe is deadly. Then Kakashi would dodge and then try to trip Naruto. And then Naruto would encase his feet with the light, basically, you would say. And then Kakashi's foot would start burning. Then Naruto would swing at Kakashi, who's still on the ground. Kakashi would then use substitution jutsu to get out of that. It's like, whew, if I didn't get out of that, I would have died. Then suddenly Naruto appears behind him and kicks him in his back, sending him up in the air. Now Kakashi's in the air, he can't dodge. And then Naruto appears above him and is gonna swing his staff at him. But then Kakashi creates 2 shadow clones. One that's gonna be in front of him, which takes the scythe hit, and another one that will throw him back down to the ground. So then Naruto scythe would hit the ground, making a huge explosion, making a crater of sorts of a small meteorite. Naruto would then charge back at Kakashi, swinging his staff. Naruto would then stab his scythe into the... My fault, guys, I meant to say scythe. Would stab his scythe into the ground, and he would jump on top of it. And then he would make 2 light staffs and make some light rods. Not light rods, light ropes come out his back and grab Kakashi and slam him on the ground. And then he would stab these light staffs into Kakashi's arms. Then he would get up and make some more lightning ropes come out his hand and wrap around Kakashi, straining his chakra so he can substitute none of that. Then Naruto takes both of the bells and tosses one to Sasuke. Kakashi in his head is like, should I pass them? They kinda use teamwork, but he also got the bells. So then Naruto would let go of his light to restraint. And Kakashi's like, "Who kid? You're one big deal, aren't you?" So then Kakashi tells Team 7 to go back to the field. Then Kakashi basically tells them the goal of the exercise was to use teamwork, which you guys really didn't. But since you got the bells, I'll pass you. And then Sakura starts cheering. Kakashi would then say, "Don't forget, we have a mission tomorrow, so be there." So Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi would proceed to do the D-rank missions for that month. During that month, Naruto would just enhance his lightning power even more, his light power even more, making it where his light power is still pretty strong during nighttime. He also made it where like a light bulb or something could charge his light power. So now Naruto walks around with, say, like a light on his right hip. It's kind of like a light bulb, but like it's like the light bulb is getting charged by Naruto's light powers. Since it's getting charged by Naruto's light powers all day, when it comes to nighttime, it will stay on all night, charging up Naruto, if you get what I'm saying. So, Naruto and Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura would head back into the third Hokage's office to turn in like the mission results. Naruto would then say in a dead monotone voice, "Do you have any other missions? We've been doing DA missions for the past month. You really think we're worth that?" Third Hokage Losing would then say, No, I just wanted to test you guys out. But here, escort this man to the land of waves." Then Kazuna would walk in. He would look at the kids, and he would make fun of Sakura since Naruto, he's taller. Let me explain Naruto's appearance. So Naruto, his hair is still yellow, but like the tips of his spiky hair would grow light white because of his lightning powers. His light powers. Don't ask why, but it does. Then he would grow taller since he's training, and if he wants to train at full durability, he needs to eat right. So he's taller. He's about Sasuke's height, like 3 inches taller. Naruto would wear, basically, it's something like Boruto would wear. Like it's like Boruto's jacket if it was yellow, and if you zip it up and you put some lightning symbols on it. And then he has on Boruto's pants. So that's Naruto's appearance in the story. So they set out for the mission. They have just left the Leaf Village around 30 minutes ago, and they see a puddle. Now, Naruto, he knows it hasn't rained in 2 weeks, so there shouldn't be a puddle. So Naruto would put a light ball in his hand and shove it into the puddle, basically heating up the puddle and basically burning anybody in there. And then a poof happens, and we see the 2 demon brothers there, dead. So then Kakashi's like, these are the 2 demon brothers. These are Chunin rank ninja. He would then question Kazuna, why is a Chunin rank ninja going after you on a C rank mission? Kazuna would then confess, I couldn't afford a higher rank mission, so I had to go with the C rank mission. So then Kakashi's like, no, we are heading back to the Leaf Village. Then Naruto would be like, no, Kakashi, we can handle this mission. Let's keep going. Kakashi would be like, okay, Naruto. And they head out farther to the land of waves. When they get there, Naruto, he senses something. He senses a moving object coming towards them. Then Naruto realizes it's a lethal object, and he tells all the Team 7 to duck, and then he pulls Kazuna down since Kazuna doesn't have reflexes like that. Then they see it's a giant sword. Then this man appears on top of it. Kakashi's like, Zabuza, the 7 mist swordsman. Zabuza's like, Kakashi of the Sharingan knowing my name. So then Zabuza would be like, I'm here to take that bridge battle, but it might be nice to take Kakashi Hatake's Sharingan. So Zabuza heads down, starts swinging his sword at Kakashi. Kakashi tells Team 7 to not interfere. Kakashi would eventually get trapped in a water prison jutsu just out in canon. Naruto be like, oh, have to do this again. Naruto would then summon, like I said earlier, like it's kind of like Kanaki's Kagun, but it comes out of his wrist. So he summons a whole bunch of light of those and throws it at all the water clones, basically evaporating the water clones. Naruto would then make the light Kaguns come out his back and start freaking hitting Zabuza. Now, Zabuza, this is what's going on instead. He either dodges and lets Kakashi out the water prison, or he gets hit by a Genin level ninja. That's what's going on in Zabuza's head. But as soon as Naruto hits him one time, Zabuza just goes flying into the water. Naruto hit a chakra point too, so Zabuza can't get enough chakra in his body to float back up. So then Zabuza is thinking, I don't have a lot of chakra, so I can't do a jutsu to get me back up. What do I do? Then suddenly, Zabuza would rise out of the water, and he has ice on him. Like, huh? Then Haku would appear, and he would attempt to punch Naruto in the face. Naruto would then grab his hand with the lightning ropes and kick him in the stomach. Then Naruto would appear behind him, grab his leg with the lightning ropes, and slam him down on top of Zabuza. They're both going down in the water. Naruto would then jump back down in the in the water. Would jump inside of the water, and he'll weave a few hand signs, and then he'll say, light style, light laser beam, and shoots a massive beam of light down at Zabuza and Haku, putting a hole through both of their chest, killing them. Naruto would then use his light ropes to attach to a tree outside the water and swing up on top of it. Then he would body flicker to where Kakashi and the rest of Team 7 were. They're like, well, that's the end. Guess you don't have to worry about anything else, Tazuna. And then Kakashi collapsed. Then Tazuna tells Team 7, I'll let you guys stay at my house for the night. So Naruto would pick up Kakashi with his lightning ropes, because he ain't feel like carrying him, I don't know why. So then they got there, and Tazuna would get there, and he tells his daughter and Anoi that they got some guests, and Anoi and his daughter would greet them. Now Anoi isn't like how it is in the original, because he heard the news about how Team 7 had killed Zabuza and Haku. So we're going to skip to the next morning. Team 7 was set out to the bridge with Tazuna. When they get here, they see a gang of Gato's thugs with Gato. Now Kakashi's about to make shadow clones. Naruto then says, no, I got this. He sticks his palm in the air and makes a giant ball of light, and he sends it towards Gato. Then Gato and all his men get destroyed by that one lightning ball. The lightning ball was the light ball was around the size of a spear bomb. So then the bridge was about to collapse from the massive move Naruto just did to kill Gato and the men. But then Naruto does a hand sign, and gets his lightning ropes to wrap around the bridge, bringing it back up and holding it steady. So now, Kazuna would finish the bridge, and Team 7 would head back to the Leaf Village. So, Team 7 have just arrived to the Leaf Village. Kakashi tells them about the tuning exams and how they only have 2 weeks to train. So, Naruto strengthens his light abilities. Naruto now has the ability to, basically see the the perspective of all light. So, if you went outside and wanted to see the perspective of the sun, he could do that. Basically, he can see whatever light sees. Now, Sasuke, he's learned the Chidori. He's unlocked his 3 Tamori Sharingan, and also has increased his taijutsu capabilities. Sakura, she would go and train with Kurenai to strengthen her genjutsu, and then she would also train with Tsunade part-time to strengthen herself in general. Now, we skip 2 weeks to the tuning exams. It's the first stage. They're all inside of the classroom for the tuning exams. So, Naruto has figured out that the point of this exam is to cheat. So, he uses the light on top of the ceiling, the light bulb on top of the ceiling. It looks at everybody's paper. So then, Naruto would look at the paper of the people who have done this exam before. So he would use their paper and copy off of it. Naruto would then hand in his sheet of paper around 15 seconds after. Now, I forgot his name, but the first round prompter would be amazed. So would everybody else except for Team 7. They were like, the Brat probably used his light abilities. So the rest goes how it did in canon. Sasuke uses his Sharingan. Sakura would use a genjutsu on Ino to get her answers. So, yeah. Now it's the second stage, the Forest of Death. So, now, Team 7 heads out inside of the forest. Naruto then says, I have to use the bathroom, I'll be back. Then, a giant snake tries to swallow Naruto whole, which he does. Now, Naruto is inside of the belly of the snake, and he creates a huge burst of light, basically obliterating the snake. Naruto then uses the point of view of the sun, and he would see Sasuke and Sakura fighting this man on a snake. So then Naruto would jump up in the air, really freaking high, and he would put his hand in the air, and he'll throw a ball of light at above Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Orochimaru. He's above the trees, and he will break all the trees covering them. Naruto would then dive down right at Orochimaru cradle. Orochimaru would then do 3 backflips. Naruto would do another 3 backflips. Naruto would activate his lightning ropes in his back, and he would make a lightning sword. Orochimaru would use his Kusanagi sword, and they would collide. Naruto and Orochimaru are in a sword battle. Naruto currently have an upper hand since he's using his lightning orbs in his back to also attack. Orochimaru seems about to lose. He would go on top of a snake, which would be Manda, cause why not? And he would charge at Naruto. Naruto would then zoom past Orochimaru and cut the tail of the snake off. Then Naruto would start floating in the air. Cause that's another one of his abilities. He can float using the power of light. Naruto then proceeds to start floating. And he makes a massive spirit bomb of light. He chucks at Orochimaru and the snake. And then Orochimaru would go underground, and Manda, he would think he would be able to take it since he's the strongest summoning of the 3 Sannin, of course. So Orochimaru would go underground. Team 7, seeing this move before and his destructive capabilities, would start running in the opposite direction. Sasuke would then activate his Chidori and grab Sakura and speed away from the area of Naruto. So then the spear bomb collides with Manda, killing him on impact. Then Orochimaru, who's underground, thinks he's safe, but then he just sees a beam of light coming towards the ground, and he's like, sucks for you, Manda. Then a massive explosion happens. The whole Forest of Death, like everybody in the Forest of Death saw this explosion. And Orochimaru is dead. He got disintegrated by the spirit bomb. And there's this crater. This crater is the size of a meteor. Naruto would then collapse, having used so much light power. So, let me specify that this spirit bomb is the size of the spirit bomb Gogeta used against Boo in Dragon Ball Z. So, it's a pretty big spirit bomb. But Naruto would collapse. Sasuke would then pick up Naruto and Sakura and they'll head to a cave where Naruto and them are resting. They were never able to get the skull off of Orochimaru though, since Naruto disintegrated him. Literally. So then the sound 4 comes. Sasuke's like, tell Sakura, I got this. He activates his 3 Temari Sharingan. He activates Chidori and stabs it through every single one of the not the sound, for the sound ninjas' hearts, killing them. Sasuke would then collapse since, like, he's not used to using the Chidori. Sakura and then Naruto would arise since it's around 12 o'clock and the sun shines the most at 12 o'clock. So Naruto would then arise and he has this light aura surrounding him. It looks like Super Saiyan, you could say, the first stage. And he would pick up Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke would wake up from like just the aura of Naruto, and he would see Naruto. His hair is beaming golden yellow, and just looks menacing. And that's why in What If Naruto Was a Code Breaker Part 1.